Hi, it's Katie. I'm like so mad right now. I just spent the last like 20 minutes making this long video, which no one wants to watch me for 20 minutes anyways. And YouTube like cut it off because I only have like a 15-minute limit. So it cut off like the mid sentence. So I have to redo it all over again. Um, I'm doing another suicide video. I know I've done one before. But I'm doing it again because I was watching Dear Buck, Michael Buckley's, advice blog thing. Um, you should know him. He's like the funniest guy ever. He does the What the Buck show. And he's been answering a lot of comments about suicide and stuff. And like, I remember one girl said that she was gonna go to a mental hospital. And if you know me, you know how I feel about those. Mental hospitals are like the most traumatizing thing ever. Of course, I'm not a professional speaking from experience, but professional psychiatrists have so many psychiatrists and therapists have told me how traumatizing it is. Like, unless you are a crazy serial killer that's completely untreatable, you should not go to a mental hospital. I'm not saying like being depressed or suicidal is simple, but if it's just for something like that, you need to see a doctor, not to go to a mental hospital. Mental hospital is for people who are like untreatable, like serial killers, severe schizophrenics, like people who are completely out of control. So unless you've killed anybody lately, I do not suggest you go to a mental hospital. Because a lot of people with mental disorders or depression or suicidal or cutting or anorexia, etc., etc., um, a lot of the problems have to do with control. And being in a mental hospital, you have no control whatsoever. They can do whatever they want to you when they want to you, and they control your whole life while you're in there. And it's very traumatizing for someone in that fragile of a state, or just any normal person anywhere. It's very scary. It's like going to jail, but 10 times worse. Where they can like strap you down, you know, like put you to sleep with needle injections. That's just not for TV. That's real. And they shove pills down your throat, and they won't tell you anything. I'm not saying that all mental hospitals are bad. I just don't suggest going to them. And a lot of doctors agree that they are traumatizing. So I'm trying to remember all that I said. So if you're suicidal right now, and like you were seriously considering committing suicide, there are suicide hotlines like 1-800-SUICIDE. I personally don't like those either because I just feel they're so unpersonal, and they don't know you, and they don't know your story or anything about you. So I suggest talking to a friend. I know a lot of people are embarrassed, or I'm sorry, my cat just had kittens and the kids are screaming. Um, you're embarrassed and you don't want people to know, or you don't think that you'll understand, but you'd be surprised. Um, so many teenagers these days are depressed all the time, and everyone has been depressed at some point in their life, or even if they're not, you know, your friends are your friends and they're understanding. So I suggest talking to a friend or a family member. And I know it may take a while because psychiatrists are far in between. There's not enough in the world, and appointments can take forever. Dealing with psychiatrists and therapists, I suggest going to a doctor before a hospital. And while you're waiting for that doctor's appointment, or while you're waiting for that medication to kick in, just remember, take it day by day. It sounds so stupid and simple and cheesy, but when you think of it that way, just I know how it feels. Sorry. I'm I'm bipolar. I've been through that suicidal stage. I think about suicide like all the time, which most people think that's weird, that's crazy. But it's actually natural to think about it. But considering it is a different thing. You just gotta hold on for that moment. And most likely, if you're really considering it, you'll feel better the next day. If you can just get over that moment and just take life one day at a time. And another thing, um, doctors, I know it's so hard when you have a mental disorder. Depression usually goes away. You know, feeling suicidal usually goes away. It's just usually brought on by a lot of stress and bad things happening. But when you're like me, with an actual mental disorder, like bipolar disorder or severe anxiety, not that I'm saying that depression isn't really important. I'm just saying things like that usually get away. Sometimes anxiety disorders go away. Me, unfortunately, I'm gonna be like this for life, and I'm gonna have to be on medication for life. And I am stable now, but it took me 4 years to get stable. And even though my bipolar is stable right now, my anxiety is not. I actually, my doctor is making me go see a therapist, which in my experience, I don't like therapists. I've always said like you have to be crazy to listen to crazy people all day, but the therapist I've seen, like the last one, oh my god, she drove me crazy. She was like, she talks the whole time when they're supposed to be sitting there listening to you. And anytime I say something, she's like, no, you're wrong. That's not it. That's not how it is. Not mine. I don't know how an opinion can be wrong, but things anyways. So yeah, that ended real fast. And psychiatrists, like I said, there's not a lot, and they're always busy. And if you have a mental disorder, and if you're a teenager, being on the right combination of medication is very hard, and it's a long process. I was with, sorry, I was with one psychiatrist for a year and a half, and he put me on every antidepressant in the world, and he just said I was depressed, and he didn't even diagnose me as bipolar, which I'd done the research my whole life. Even before I was suicidal in the mental hospital when I was 14, I knew I was bipolar. I mean, it's not really hard to diagnose, even though I think it's being very overly diagnosed lately. Um, but even just watching commercials on TV, it's not hard to know that a lot of antidepressants don't work for teenagers and kids. And they certainly didn't work for me. All the pills that I took, so you can't even imagine how many pills that I had taken in a year and a half. All of them either made me physically sick, I'd have every symptom that was on the bottle, or they make me more depressed and suicidal. And I think I saw two other psychiatrists after that, and then I finally found the psychiatrist that I have now, who was a genius. It only took a few pills that he gave me to find the right combination, mainly because I tried every other pill. But he is the funniest guy in the world, and he's so smart. And I don't want to give his name now because I don't think I can. But he's a genius, and even though it took 4 years, well, really like 3 years, I've been with him for almost a year. Um, even though it took that long, like I'm I'm fine now. Like I'm stable, I'm happy, and I know it sounds kind of depressing. Like it took so long for me to be this way, but there's hope, and there is treatment for you, if not a cure, and there is a better life for you. Like, no matter how bad your situation is. I've been in very terrible stagnating, scary situations in my life. And there's always hope. And I don't want to make this a long video. And I just wanted to tell everyone, anyone who feels depressed or suicidal, just reach out to people. Like, you would be surprised how many people can relate to you. And always get help. So yeah. I hope everyone that watches my videos, which is about 5 people, is well and is happy. And just remember, live live life day by day, and always know there's hope. There's always a future there for you. So, I love y'all. Hugs and kisses. Bye. If I can figure out how to turn this off, because it always takes me forever. Bye. Talk to y'all soon.